Used Godred's parts to mend us, answered Cody mournfully. Sir Handel and Duncan were unusually silent, long after Cody had gone home. Neither Skarloey nor Renias ever mentioned that Cody had made the story up.
The Works Diesel. The Works Diesel, I don't even know where we got this illustration from. The Works Diesel is an engine, I think, that works at like Crovin's Gate or something. I don't know where they got this illustration from, actually. I need to do more research and stuff. I'm sorry. But yeah, the Works Diesel is an engine that works at Crovin's Gate Works, I think. So what happened was, I think it's like Christopher's second or third book, there's a whole book that explains James's prejudice against diesels, right? And there's people who can explain this better than me, but basically, James hates diesels. That makes sense. I know it's like the 80s and most people, and most survivors have accepted the diesels, because not all of them are bad, but James hates them. So then, in the final story, which has been like, in the first story you get old stuck up, then 2 stories unrelated, and then this story, where James is, like, overflows tanks and his water cap freezes up, and then this diesel, who is never named and never officially speaks, unnamed, unspeaks, we don't see the face of. I don't know where we got this illustration from, but in the actual book, we don't see the face of this diesel. Shows up, helps James out, and he says that, oh yeah, James and the Works Diesel, like James was quiet at first, but by the time they got to the shed, they were talking like old friends. So basically, like, this random diesel, who we don't see the face of, just helps James out, and I thought, okay, at first, so a random diesel stopped by and helped James out, that's nice. No, it was his engine's job. So his engine chose out of nowhere. It's not like an engine who was kind, stopped by and saves him. This random diesel somehow won James over and got rid of his presidents. Are you kidding me?
That wasn't all. Thanks to his new friend from the works, even James now admits that diesels can be useful engines
This
too.
is a terrible character arc. This game said, oh, you're gonna, wait, is this how we end tier 4? Are we really gonna end it like this? Wait, I'm still talking. Wait. Oh wow, you're just gonna end it like that. Oh, how terrible. The Highland engines. The Highland engines are briefly mentioned by Donald or Douglas, probably both of them, in the book Jock the New Engine. And yeah, they were painted yellow, called the Jocks, and that's where our Jock got his name from. The trucks. The trucks are 2 trucks that work on the Cody Bell Railway. There used to be quite a few of them, but when roads and stuff came up, those trucks were scrapped, and there's only 2 of them. There's this one, which has a little box thing on the front, and then like a little cage, I guess. I don't know what's that behind it. And then another truck behind it, which is a small little flatbed. And it's used to just take, supplies and stuff up and down the mountain. They're very different from the trucks we have on our normal railways. When are they getting their models and locals online? Because I need the truck and locals online. And yeah, they're not actually troublesome. They're nice trucks, I guess. Or sleepy. Stevenson's Rocket Railway Series. So this guy appears in the Railway Series. When Thomas goes off to York, we meet Mallard and other guys. So this is the replica. So Steven in the show is the real one. This is the replica. But it doesn't have a face. So is it even alive? I know it's like, I think it's like a 70, we've already talked about this, but I think it's like a 75, 25% chance. So this engine, I think this is one of the few engines that aren't actually sentient in this universe, like City Churro or Markland. We're getting to Markland, we already did City Churro. So yeah, this guy isn't sentient, but he's a replica, not the original Steven, so we don't know. SNM 1 and 2, 1 and 3, right? I don't know why it says that. 1 and 3. I don't know why this is on the list, we already kind of covered them, but yeah. Norris and Nelly, we're just gonna call them that. And with these 2 engines, number 1 and number 3 were one of the 3 Nielsen box tank engines that came to Sodor. When the railway was getting some financial trouble, I think by like the turn of the century, the railway kind of went under. So they sold off 2 engines. Neil was sold to the Crovin's Gate Mining Company and worked there for a while. And the other one we don't know. And then the remaining engine literally worked himself to death. He worked himself so hard that by the time the railway went bust, his final breakdown, there was nothing left. There wasn't even scrap metal left. So I don't want to know what that looks like, but like, Jesus. So guy's dead. So at least one of them was dead. We don't really know what happened to the other one, because they don't explain anything, because people don't know how to keep records. This is what journals are important, kids, okay? Keep your journals on hand, so we can document these engines, so in 100 years, some rando kid is going to be like, okay, I need a journal, so why didn't they just keep, I don't know, but who knows, might find out something. We know Neil lived, so the other one might have, probably not. Definitely not. Richard Robert Norramby. Not sure why he's on this list, as he's, well, in the Railway series, he hardly appears, so he counts, but he's like a main character in the CGI series, kind of. He's the Earl of Sodor, just in the Railway series, and honestly, he kind of looks better, not gonna lie. Like, I like both his looks. I love this guy. One of my favorite characters, but not gonna lie, the top hat gives Sir Robert a top hat and a little monocle. That looks good. He's the guy who should own Duke, but instead, guy was like, what? I think he was 7 when the Mid-Sodor Railway closed. So you can't blame him for, like, not knowing about his engine. Man, imagine just, like, having your own engine. I mean, he's the Earl of Sodor, and I think 3 years old. He was the Earl of Sodor, so. Yeah, his dad died. This is Thomas' tank engine, by the way. Like, this is legit lore. In the war, it states in the books that his father, the current Earl of Sodor, was killed in the war. And so, poor little guy, yeah. Alan Pegler, the GOAT, the man himself. Alan Pegler is the man that saved Flying Scotsman. Railway enthusiast, came to America, didn't end well for him. Ivo Hugh, the person. He was the chief mechanical engineer on the Scarlet Railway. He was basically like one of the 4 people actually running the railway in the 50s, since it was pretty bad. He retires. He got his own train during his retirement ceremony. Number 7, Ivo Hugh. Yeah, guy seems nice. Now, why does the story have to do anything with, why is the story about pigs, though? That's the real question, folks. Like, nothing against Christopher, but the story is about pigs. And at the very end, he's like, oh my god, I got my own train. You're not mentioned, you mentioned like once in the entire book, okay? You're hardly mentioned, and you get your own train? When are we getting Sir Tom Hat train? Now that's why I'm wondering. The Midland engines. They are apparently engines that came to Sodor and helped construct the Northwestern Railway. Though we never see them, they probably don't appear in any background. Like, these are like really obscure characters that you can only find in lore that hardly anyone knows about. So if a tree falls in the woods, and no, Mallard, she is the fastest steam engine in the world, debatably. And she works at the National Railway Museum. Everyone kind of hates her. She's very boastful. She's Spencer. She's just Railway Series Spencer. Honestly, I'm sure the two of them get along really well. Or maybe they don't. They probably hate each other. But yeah, just Railway Series Spencer. But also, like, she's real. You can actually go see her if you live in Britain. So, for all those Brits watching this video, which are probably none, go enjoy the fact you don't live about a cajillion miles away on the other side of the planet, and go visit these famous engines. I don't care if you you don't care about trains. Why you're watching this video, go to that museum, okay? Because I'm sure, honestly, I'm sure you have, because like, I don't get European people like do you think such a, honestly, I think that's the reaction anyone gets to anyone who lives in America. Oh, you live in America? Go to New York or something. Go see the giant museum. I live so far away. I don't know. Not just my 2 cents. Where were we again? Oh yeah, Mallard. They did a character gallery episode on her. Good episode. The LMS Banana Vans. They look like they did something wrong, and honestly, they probably did. King James I. He was one of Gordon's brothers, I think, that Duck worked with. He was scrapped, but Duck mentions him offhandedly. Used to work from Paddington. I assume they were friends. Maybe a mentor kind of situation. Just good old pals. Something more. I don't know, but I think he's dead. I think the engine was scrapped. Yeah, he was scrapped. Damn it! Why does everyone die in this show? Ivo Hugh the Train. He appears in one of the final books. I think it's like the 3rd final book of the Railway series. new little engine. He appears in 2 illustrations, does not speak a word. He is more mysterious than we think because, basically, he's based off Tom Rawl, which is based off of a different engine. Because they took the parts from an engine that was related to Duncan, and then rebuilt those parts into Tom Rawl, which, without explaining it in crazy detail, Ivo Hugh isn't a scratch-built engine. So they had to get those parts from somewhere. So I just think Ivo Hugh is Smudger, but that's just my own theory. We never hear him speak. He doesn't do crap in anything. He has a weird face that kind of looks like James's new face in the new show. He looks better in purple. Ivan Farrier. Ivan Farrier is the chief mechanical engineer on the miniature railway. He built Frank. Iron Duke. Iron Duke is part of the whatever class that engine is. You see, they were old kind of engine. I mean, they're old, and they're one of the engines that Duck mentions that have the Duke class. Were all scrapped. I think there's something Duke class, and he was saying how they were fine and safely, but they all been scrapped. And Peter Sam is like, oh my god, our Duke has been scrapped. You didn't think about that sooner? Do you not know what happened to all the mid-total engines? Because like barely any of them. That's a video later, but very few of them actually get a happy ending. But yeah, Iron Duke, he's part of the Duke class, but he's not the original one. He's actually a replica made out of the Austerity engine. So basically, Wilbert's dead deceased brother was made to this guy, and that means he's like he's 5 years old when Thomas meets him. So this 5-year-old train has a huge mustache and stuff, which are probably fake, and I find that hilarious. He's a broad gauge engine, and he has an unimmaculate aura and power. His aura is only increased by his mustache. And he explains to Thomas how the difference between his gauge, because he goes on broad gauge, which is much bigger than Thomas's standard gauge, or little Mikey's over there, miniature gauge. Because I've seen trains out here in the States that are like 7-inch apart. That's how big the tracks are. Compared to, I think these are like 7 feet. Like they are big engines, like big engines. Ira. I can't spell. I'm sorry, folks. I don't know names. But she is the coach that works on the Bluebell Railway, one of Henrietta's sisters. Did I mention she works at the Bluebell? Yeah, probably pulled by Stepney every once in a while. Holland. She was a FR coach. FR being a finesse railway. Same railway Albert and Edward worked. One of Albert's 2 coaches. So basically just not Clarabelle. We got not Thomas, not Annie, not Clarabelle. That's all you need to know. Unfortunate names. Fred Pelham and Old Rickety. So Fred Pelham, Ulk, and Old Rickety are like the greatest characters to ever exist in Thomas and Friends. I mean, they are just so well thought out. Like, they are just well thought out characters. I can't even believe how, like, they're just good characters. I know they appear in only 1 illustration. They don't even ever mention. They just appear in 1 illustration, but they are just such great characters. Let's look at this one railway toy. I would ingest that lead, I'm telling you that much. I would ingest that lead. Gordon's Bros. Gordon's brothers are mentioned like 3 times, including in everyone's favorite book, because it actually that's sounding sarcastic, but it truly is. Like, my favorite book is Mid-Soda Railway, actually, the Duke of the Lost engine. But yeah, Enterprising Engine, Enterprising Engines, great book. Yeah, it's mentioned that Gordon misses his brothers and how the Diesel said they won. So basically, yeah, we're on book 23, and we've lost the war, folks. All the steam engines are dead, and Sir Tom Hat's like, yeah, we kind of lost. They did abolish steamery. They abolished steamery, and all the steam engines are dead. But I'm not gonna kill you because you guys have plot armor. But yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go eat some crumpets now. Don't worry, they bring in Flan Scotsman because he lived. And yeah, there were a lot of Gordon's brothers, and we even see their carcasses on Sodor. How lovely. And yeah, they're really based off the real-life LNER, not LNER, A4s, legendary engines. You can go watch a Train of Thought video about them, because the names are funny. Some highlights. Diesel, 31120. Diesel 31120. He died. Yeah, like he appears in like background of images. He appears in background of an image in one of Chris's books, and he died. 1994. Sorry, June 7th, 1994. June 7th, 1994. About 8:37 a.m. in the morning. I don't know the time. Why does that like have his character? Oh god. Oh god, the show. These books. Oh. Cora, the guards van. Reminds Peterson of the old days. Cora is a mid-Sodor coach. A brake van. Wagon. Cattle truck. You know, the ironic thing is, I feel like cattle truck would be like kind of the word, like in the 50s it was like, okay, extra handle, wow, you're a jerk, but you know, it's fine. But I feel like if you called a coach a cattle truck today, you're immediately getting blocked, like you're getting banned. That, I don't know. She's nice, I guess. We like her. She lives. Unlike basically everyone else on the Mid-Sodor Railway. The BR steam engines, aka Percy's fan club. There were 4 BR engines, not including Ginty and Pug, that appear in book 12, the 8 famous engines. Percy takes the plunge, and basically Percy's rambling on and telling him stories. And these 4 engines, they kind of idolize Percy. As they should. Smart guys. But Henry had to be a party pooper and ruin it. Our good friend Rexel Jet actually made a video talking about this guy, so go watch that. Awdry. Yelp. Yeah, just take it in for a moment, okay? He's basically the Reverend Awdry trainified, I guess. He's an older, wise engine. And I am unsettled. Like, I don't like looking at this. I really, like, no disrespect to Wilbert Awdry, but I really hate, why is that Henry next to him? I think that's Thomas. I don't want to look at this anymore. I'm sorry. Oh god. We're on tier 4. We haven't even, oh god. This is getting bad, folks. Agnes, Ruth, Lucy, Jemima, and Beatrice. These are a first-class carriage coach, 3 third-class carriage coaches, and the guards van. They were the original coaches on the Scarlet Railway. So yes, the Scarlet Railway ran on a first-class coach, 3 third-class coaches, and a guards van. Screw second-class, I guess. These are basically the standard Scarlet coaches, though they actually have names, which I like better than not naming them. So, TV show, why did you not name them? Ah, finally! No more numbers. Ada, Jane, and Mabel. Ada, Jane, and Mabel are 3 open top carriages, third, I can't speak today, third-class carriages that used to run on the Mid-Sodor Railway. There's probably many of them, but they are the only 3 survivals. They were found by Mr. Percival, or at least purchased by him, and they work on the railway. Not much to know about them, but they're pretty cool looking. Locals Online recently gave them an update. Let's look at their wooden railway toy. Now that, I need that. If you have that, give it to me. That's good. Ooh, that's good. Good wooden railway toy. I want it. 8783. Be honest with you, I don't know what book this guy appears in. I think it's one of the Toby flashback books. LNER, yeah, it's a Toby flashback book. Yeah, this guy, 8783. He already built a Sir Nigel Gresley engine. He rebuilt once. He was scrapped. Yeah, he's dead. So, this is gonna be a constant, isn't it? Good old 10751. These are real shittles now, folks. 10751. You would think this is the engine's number, but no, it's actually its running code. This station, I think. I don't entirely know how that works, but it's not the engine's number. We don't know its engine's number, but he was an engine that took a rail tour to Sodor. That's all we know. Okay, now we start getting brief. 1020. 1020 appears in literally one illustration of one story. I think it's Toby's Seaside Holiday. Did not make it into the TV show, unfortunately. Though there were some definitely fun videos I would advise you to watch about him. I forget the name of it, but there was this very fun movie I love watching when 1020 is like the main villain. Super good movie. I advise you to go watch it. I don't know names. I'm sorry, I don't know names. They call him Dane. Everyone knows it though. But yeah, he's an LNER 1020 engine. He is a J52. He's a J52 class. Now it states that the engine was younger than Toby, though the J52s were built between the years, I think, 1897 and 1913. It was 1913 was the last one built, and Toby was built in 1914, the same year as World War I. Make of that information what you will. That means the engine is literally a year older than Toby at the latest, and this engine looks all grimy and dirty, so why does it say the engine was younger than Toby? We don't know. Yeah, he was a grimy old engine that Toby helped out, and he was probably scrapped. Great stuff. The Austerity engine / Walter. So in the brand new Island of Sodor book, it's the Sodor Reading Between the Lines, which I just got, the remastered one. Christopher Awdry released that the Austerity engine, because in the book, Wilbert the Forest engine, it was revealed that Sir Hat was going to get a Austerity tank engine. That's what Wilbert was there for. He was a trial engine to see if Sir Hat wanted him. He did, so he bought one. And this has been a very mysterious engine over the years, which people have named like Warrington or something. And now that. Number 15, what did I say? This person knows me. This is canon now. Walter number 15. I think he's officially number 13, but he's 15. Screw it. Emily and 13 are canon. That makes him 15, whatever. But yeah, he's canon number 13. Painted black, we don't know about any lining, but he's painted black, works on the Harwick branch line, probably with Barry / Arthur. And yeah, so he revealed the engine's name Walter, he's painted black, and Sir Hat did buy him. And that's all we know. Again, we used to think he was Warrington, or the engine 16, or just Wilbert himself, but that's not true. He is not that. We don't really know much about this engine, but hopefully we find out more about him in the future. And come on, we were all excited when we heard that. Barry is an interesting one, as he's a cut Railway Series character. There was going to be a book called Barry the Rescue Engine, and Barry was then be an engine found at the scrapyard, and he was rescued and saved. We don't really know what it was meant to be about. Christopher hasn't really released this, but he is canon. He's the official number 12 engine on Sodor, even though my own AU, he's number 14, because Emily's number 12, 13's 13, he's 14, that makes Walter 15, we'll get into them. But my own AUs aside, he's the official number 12 engine. He's an IV2 tank engine. People thought he was an IV2 tender engine, but he's not, so stop headcanning him as such. And actually, this is a really nice edit. Like a really good edit. So he would probably look something like this. I think he's painted black, but we don't know that for sure. He's the same thing as Arthur. He's just Arthur, basically. So Arthur's canon, I guess. Honestly, he could have been renamed Arthur. We don't know. There are stories there. Haven't seen any yet, but there are stories there. Anyway, who was brought to Sodor, helps out. He's a very fan favorite character that people love putting in their AUs, but we don't know much about him. The minecart. The minecart is an unnamed minecart that appears in the. Sorry, I got Thomas trauma. Blubba. Big world. Big world, big event. Big world, big adventure. Sorry, that was weirdly painful for me to say. The minecart appears, has a face. I think is based off an actual minecart that was used in Blue Dot Mystery, and then was repurposed in that like 3D Thomas special they made a while back that no one watched. Thomas is just kind of vibing, like he's just vibing in the mine, and then Thomas has to show up and ruin everything. Thank you, British. And then minecart goes flying, and I mean honestly, it's a very rusted guy. I mean, I'm not sure what he was doing in there. Just poor guy. It's like a tunnel. It's not even a mine. It's a tunnel. I'm not even gonna make sense of this movie. But yeah, he was not rescued when Bo and this is America right there. Okay, welcome to the beautiful state of Utah, because this is what I see every day, I guess. Good old mustachioed 119s. Because that guy right there, this is exactly who I look like. Yeah, the minecart was probably abandoned. Great stuff. R.I.P. minecart, I guess.